Guys, it's Danny, and people have been asking me to add a little bit of context about our hikes, like how we got there, when we went, what were the trail conditions before we go, move into the montage of the experience itself. So here we're going to talk a little bit about Sky Pond, and yeah, let's get going. So we did the Sky Pond Trailhead in Rocky Mountain National Park mid-August of this year. Rocky Mountain National Park is extremely popular, and this was still in peak season. So the first thing is that you do require a timed entry pass. Because Sky Pond Trail starts in the Bear Lake corridor. You do have to have a timed entry, even if you're starting super duper early, like at 6 a.m. There are park rangers stopping you at the base of Park Lake corridor to make sure that you've got your pass. If not, they're just going to turn you around. And we, in fact, did also get turned around. So we started our hike late. We had a timed entry for like 8 a.m. and they're like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And we're like, yep. They're like, you're not getting in. So keep that in mind. The second thing is that, let's talk a little bit about the trail itself. It's a 8.6 mile out and back trail that is it's still moderate, but it's one of the more strenuous moderate hikes that popular hikes that you'll find in Rocky Mountain National Park. So it's 8.6 miles roughly, 4.3 out, 4.3 back trail. The elevation gain is pretty good. It's about 1,700 feet in elevation gain, so be wary of that you're going to be basically going more or less up the whole time. You do dip down a little bit, which always makes people nervous. When you get to when you start hitting the Mills Junction, the elevation goes down, and then you start to hike back up, which is always kind of funny seeing people struggle at that point. So about the trailheads, where to park. There's two trailheads actually that you can park at. The main one where people try to hit is Glacier Gorge because it's really close by, but this parking lot is really small. It maybe holds 20 cars, something tiny like that. So the alternative is you can also park at Bear Lake Trailhead, and then you can just take the connection in, and that only adds about 0.3 miles to the trail. So it's really not that big of a deal. Now, within the Bear Lake corridor, they do have buses, but if you're starting very early in the morning, like at 6 a.m., which is when we spoke to volunteer park rangers, that was the recommendation. Start very early because it's really beautiful to kind of like hike up with the sunrise, and the trail is not as packed with people because it's very early in the morning, and it's a little bit cooler out as well in the middle of August. So you can park at Bear Lake. If you're starting in the middle of the day and Bear Lake gets full, the parking lot does get full, you can always park at one of these other parking lots. Yeah, like they don't have it marked on the map here, but like Bierstadt Lake, the bus goes by, and Sprague Lake, I believe the bus goes by. You can still park there and then get to Glacier Gorge and get dropped off in Glacier Gorge. It's just be wary that at 6 a.m. in the morning, there's not going to be, you can't park in these other places that hike over. What else? So yeah, about the hike, one thing I wanted to point out is like Alberta Falls, it's really popular, so you kind of hit that immediately. And then when you hit this first junction, this is the Mills Lake Junction, you're going to take a right and keep following up to the Lock Lake. This is the lock. It's really beautiful. And then as you keep going, when you hit this point, you're basically following the river and going up the canyon the whole time. And then you actually hit this other junction right here. This is a trail that is less frequent. It's called Andrews Glacier. This is where we initially wanted to go, but we didn't realize, we saw the sign but didn't realize the turn was so tight and we ended up at Sky Pond. So if you're looking for an experience around Sky Pond that's pretty similar but maybe less frequented, I would recommend checking out Andrews Glacier. It's not that much harder of a hike. But anyways, as you keep going up to Sky Pond, in terms of difficulty level, right here, right below Lake of Glass is the Timberland Falls, which is actually what I would consider truly the hardest part of the hike. You basically have to hike on top of this tiny waterfall, and we'll talk about that in the video. And it's right below Lake of Glass, so as soon as you kind of hike up it, you're looking at Lake of Glass, and then you have to keep following the trail. People think that they need to end there, but you need to keep following a trail until you actually hit Sky Pond, which is, you know, in red here. And I think the other thing I want to point out is like it's really about like going up the canyon. That is the most beautiful part of the experience. I mean, Sky Pond is really beautiful to coming around, but like people forget to like turn around and really enjoy that view. So that's what I really loved about just the hike up to Sky Pond. Was really a lot of fun. The views were amazing. So that's it, and let's go ahead and shoot over to the videos. Hey guys.
By elevation and just the rockiness of it. Yeah. Day 73. Nothing in sight. Yeah, this was some work. Would be. If they were flying fish and they flew up here. It's so it's on like the super smooth view, so I can. It doesn't matter how I turn the camera; it just keeps it steady. God, you'd almost want to take this over the trail. You go first. That way Betsy gets to see everything she's missed. When you get back to Iowa, go to like a YMCA or something, take a rock climbing course. Yeah, wild tired. Go for a run. Then Audrey Fusco, she puts videos up all the time. I don't know where she goes, but she does it a lot. Hey.
Kind of made a dam here, didn't they?
Yeah.
slippery. Stop, Bob. It's slippery. No way?